evening, America, and good afternoon, Australia. Welcome to all of you listening live on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. My wonderful VA from the Philippines, Peo, is online live to help you with any questions that you might have. But you're listening to Radio Toni Every Day Business. And today my co-host is the wonderful Julien Sicard, a LinkedIn specialist. And before I introduce you to Julien, just a quick let you know that if you miss any information from today's show, please jump on to radiotoni.com, where you will find links to everything that Julien and I talk about today, and also direct links to connect with and speak to Julien either via his website or his email. So let me introduce you to Julien. Julien is an entrepreneur based in Shanghai and is the CEO of the #1 LinkedIn marketing agency for online client acquisition, Genius Encel. He helps Fortune 500 companies get new clients through LinkedIn. As president of the LinkedIn Local Asia, Julien has created a network of communities made up of LinkedIn lovers embracing the original idea of the LinkedIn Local, getting to know the person behind the profile. His Shanghai community is more than 3,000 members, making it one of the most professional and active networks in China. When Julien started his business over 5 years ago, he saw a need for LinkedIn in Asia. He had a desire not just to take over the market, but to help people acquire new clients online. The digital landscape has significantly changed in the past few years, and lots of people still don't know how to properly prospect online. So Julian's on the show today to guide us in our navigation of lead generation via social media and other digital means. And we called this show Client Acquisition through LinkedIn in 2021. Hello, Julien.
Hello, Tony. Thanks for having me to your show. It's amazing, and yeah, we're gonna share a lot of great value today.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about this show because, as Julian knows, I'm pretty passionate about the power of LinkedIn for lead generation and LinkedIn for business people all over the planet.
Yeah.
So, Julian, I wanted to start today by talking about some of the things that have changed in the last 5 years in terms of online lead generation and prospecting.
Oh yeah, a lot of things again. I've changed. Well, again, if we take a step back, so 5 years ago, it was 2016. There
Yeah.
was a very beginning of the professionalization on YouTube. And again, we went from blogging to really more and more video content. I would say right now this is a no. But
Yes.
more specifically on LinkedIn, LinkedIn was a platform where actually it was not rated really about content, but the perceived value was more about, okay, this is a platform to really apply for jobs and things like that. And of course, we have to come back in the basic on how actually social media platform um, again get traction, and it's mainly because of the engagement. And here and
Yes.
there, the more you get engagement, the more you're gonna get people spending time. Of course, then the value increase for that platform, and especially about ads or subscription that they can sell. And so I would say in the last 5 years, for more specifically for LinkedIn, it has been to be coming from this application platform for applying for
Yes.
jobs to actually a platform that is focusing right now about content creation.
Yeah.
The particularity of LinkedIn, it has been always to focus about being professional. Um, and again, I think a lot of users remain that it's not Facebook, it's not Instagram.
Yes.
LinkedIn user, it's almost like, yeah, we are not trash, you know. Here we are talking about smart thing, we remain
Yeah.
professional, we remain correct. So yeah, I would say that the main thing that again remain on that platform, and again right now the platform push every user to be a content creator. And here is why. In a world that is changing, and in order again to gain the trust of people, if you
Yes.
want to sell your services or your product, you need to educate people
Yes.
about what you have to offer. And I would say that the main changes regarding the platform, it's like the algorithm push every user to actually, okay,
Uh-huh.
create the content in order to again be perceived as the leader of your industry. No matter what is your industry, let's say live streamer or a photographer, it's really sharing about, okay, what you know, and offering value
Yes.
to others. Yeah.
So back, I know when I started LinkedIn years ago, it was primarily to look for jobs. So that area is still open to people, but it's so much more than that now, isn't it, Julian? So it has sort of transferred from that primary place where you went and looked for jobs to holding its own as a business content platform, hasn't it?
Yeah, correct. And again, I think that's the objective of a social network like that. Again, we have to remember that Microsoft on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, and so far, again, the growth is still there. Right now, it's
Yes.
750 million user worldwide.
Yes.
A network that again is pretty unique, and
Yeah.
especially here in China. Here in China, the other social networks such as Facebook or Instagram are blocked, but LinkedIn is
Yes.
only Western social media that is not blocked here in China. So they still
Yeah.
have traction, there is still have opportunity to grow. And indeed, they build the thing step by step. And first focusing, of course, taking the lead about job application. And then, okay, how we grow all of this. And of course, um, that's the thing. I mean, they engage with specialists from other social media. They recruit in order,
Yes.
okay, to make that platform bigger and extend the possibilities. Um, so again, we're gonna see the evolution, but what we can tell, there is more engagement, there is more content creator, and there's maybe also the thing that changed over the last 5 years.
Yes.
3, 4 years ago, if you were one of the first of making content, it was easy to be
Yes.
perceived as an influencer. Right now,
Yes.
you have so much competition,
Competition.
and again, I think on any social media, that's a war. We
Yeah.
fight for the attention of people because
Yes.
now we have so many distractions. And again, you just take a study about
Yes.
actually that has been done again by Microsoft in 2018. Humans have only 8 seconds of attention span. So there's
Yes.
not a lot, and that's why even in the way you create content, you need to do it in a smart way in order to bring
Get that.
interest for people on the internet. Okay, to be remembered.
Yes.
Again, the importance is like, okay, you will always have haters and people that like you. But in the end, what is the most important is being consistent in the
Yes.
content creation in
Yes.
order that people remember you. That's the
Yes.
most important. You want to be
Yes.
remembered. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Julian, I wanted to talk today a little about some of the etiquette around online lead generation on social media in general terms, and how that might differ from lead generation in LinkedIn. And before I get you to answer that, I'm just in terms of in terms of etiquette. One of the things I want to say up front, and for those gentlemen that are listening, LinkedIn is not a dating website.
Yeah.
Please don't connect with
Definitely down
us.
for that. Yeah.
I know lots of my fellow women are quite have quite strong responses, and I actually like to give people the opportunity because I'm education focused, like you, Julian, and I'll often just say, "Hey, lovely to connect. Just pointing out, LinkedIn is not a dating website. Happy to talk business, but it stays on LinkedIn, etc., etc., etc." whereas I know other women are just like block, delete. So please don't use it as a dating website because it's not, is it, Julian?
Correct. When you enter on LinkedIn, and that's why actually it's pretty unique. Every user is
Yes.
going to remember, to remind everyone, and that's why it's
Yes.
pretty impressive because people don't care. They're gonna tag, okay, to remember to remind this gentleman that you need to act professionally again. Like I think like there is many other websites for dating, so please
Absolutely. And
you
it's one of the
choose the other
reasons
one. And
It's one of the reasons I love LinkedIn so much is because it's supposed to be about business. And that's
I
why,
like it changed a lot. There was a lot of issue indeed with woman
yes,
harassment, but it was more 2 years ago. So far, recently, I don't know. It's maybe because my
I think
network.
it's gotten better.
I didn't see any people really complain recently about that, about like harassment against women, because
Yeah,
people again they repeat
yes,
over the message over and over, and I think like yeah, right now majority of people and gentlemen have an understanding right now on how to
yes,
actually
yes,
act on LinkedIn. Yeah.
yeah. So in
Because
terms of
example, think
etiquette,
about that. You can be tagged, everyone going to see your name, of course. So I think it's
yeah,
because so many content was like that, and okay, wow, if I do that, then everyone going to answer me, literally. So
yes,
that was kind of extreme, but I guess necessary, and that's for the better good. In general, I think right now the attitude is getting better, indeed.
yes, yes, I would agree, Julian. So what sort of, when we talk about etiquette for online lead generation, what are some of your tips for social media, but
Yeah.
mainly for LinkedIn?
Yeah, again, it's what I teach during my master class, but you cannot begin prospecting if your service or product is not great. I mean, you can be the greatest
Yes.
marketer in the world, but at the end of
Mhm.
the day, if your product or your service doesn't really bring any value to the people you are going to prospect, there is
Yeah.
nothing we can really do. And again, LinkedIn just remain a tool. It's just a
Yes.
tool. If you don't know your
Yes.
basic, if you don't know how to do a sales pitch, there is nothing you can really do. The first
Yes.
is really about understanding who is your target audience. So
Yes.
let's say you are a Mexican financial advisor in Dubai. Of course, the probability to convert Latinos that are expatriate in Dubai
Yes.
and high executive going to be more higher. You really need to understand who are actually your target client, right?
Yes.
Or let's say I develop a coaching program because people took a lot of weight here in Shanghai after the quarantine. Of course,
Yes.
I'm French, so the probability, the people I'm going to target is a human resources director in
Yes.
L'Oréal or Louis Vuitton, for
Yes.
instance, because I know the human resources director going to be French. They're
Yes.
expatriate like me, so the probability to create a good report is going to be higher. So that's all
Yeah.
about really understanding and know first who is your target client. And when you know that, because of course you won't waste your time and the other people's time, you really need to understand who are the people that have the decision on the budget, right?
Yes.
That's pretty simple. Then second is of course you add these people, but create a relationship.
Yes.
uh, you give the example about okay, LinkedIn is not a dating website, but again, when you want to seduce a woman or a boy, again, you need to know the person. It begins with a basic rule like,
Yeah.
"Hello, how are you doing?" You want to invite on the first message. Okay, I'm Julien. I'm a successful entrepreneur. Okay, let's go to the restaurant. That doesn't make sense. So whatever, if it's for your personal life or professional,
Yeah.
that's the same way. You need to understand
Good
people. Okay,
advice.
what do you do?
Mm.
What are your challenges in these companies
Yes.
this year? Uh, to again identify if there is a pain point on the other side that you could resolve. Otherwise,
Yeah.
there is point. And you can qualify like that with a question. Okay, I would
Yes.
love to know more about what you do, but be
Mm-hmm.
honest again. So that's
Yeah.
why you have a certain number of messages. I would say in general is between 3 to 5, where you ask questions, where you show
Yeah.
already like okay, you have an interest, and then the other person going to actually give a lot of elements that okay again show that maybe there is a possibility of collaboration. And then when you feel it, it's simple. You just go on the next stage. Hey, what about we
Yeah.
just get a quick call to see what we could do together?
Yeah.
That could be the first way
Yeah.
because you feel it. You feel there is a good energy in the conversation. Sometimes,
Yeah.
prospecting, there is thing we couldn't explain. It's just the energy, the way that people answer to you, and you
Yes.
need not to wait too much. Just take an action because emotionally, of course, you need to create um, an emotion connection, right?
Yes.
And of course, the best way to do that is to have a call, or even better, a Zoom call, because
Yes.
people can see you, can see your face, and that's the main
Yes.
challenging part because the internet it's already um, a dark and cold place.
Mm.
You really don't know who you can trust or don't trust, right?
Yes.
So that's really one of the first way, but the second way, and so far that's the way that actually works the best, and one of the service actually we offer for our clients, it's actually
Yes.
to bring these people into a webinar, because
Yeah.
to really to make the leads more warm, what we understood it's about educating the people first, okay?
Yes.
One of our clients, for instance, is a French guy that run a digital agency specialized about WeChat marketing, which is another social media platform here in China. And then we explain,
Yes.
well, listen, guys, you are a marketing director in Switzerland. Uh, China is still growing. How about you
Yes.
maybe you invest on WeChat to really understand the challenges of the Chinese digital ecosystem? Or one of our other clients, he managed one of the biggest headhunting firm. The same way, we run a webinar like, okay, explaining
Yes.
uh, the mistakes that you shouldn't do when you hire a top executive for your company in China. And after, of course, you want more, of course, that's so
Yes.
specific that, okay, the people literally at the end of the webinar, they book the call if they express the desire. So it's not really about selling, and I see too much that mistake. People really want to sell to push themselves. If people really are interested, or okay, you educate them enough well about what you offer, there is two possibilities, and or they're gonna
Yeah.
refer you because maybe they don't have the need, uh, or they're going to book naturally a call. You cannot push yourselves. Today it doesn't work
No.
like that. uh,
Yeah.
our strategy is more about the inbound marketing. It's really about, okay, let come naturally the people, buy again, naturally educate them, not about,
Yes.
okay, teaching them every time. And after, when you have the call and that the people, okay, in the sales funnel express, let's say, okay, here is my budget, here is what my expectation, that's great
Yes.
because you can really see, okay, if you can deliver actually the services. And so far with this methodology, yeah, we found out it really worked well. But again, I think in 2021, and because and that's why majority of our clients or people that are interested in our services, they know
Yes.
the prospection right now it's online. You don't have any
Yes.
other choice,
Yes.
and there is certain way to do it. There is a certain progression, certain step to follow, and that's why they trust us, and we bring amazing results to them. So
Yeah.
yeah, education, educate people. I will say it's a keyword. If you come from a perspective that you're going to explain like student, and I think
Yes.
like it's also part of our background. I mean, Tama and myself, we
Yes.
teach in business school. I'm even myself a director of MBA program in digital marketing. I think so
Yes.
far they're really help us to actually understand that the pain point of people when sometimes they don't begin a collaboration is because you didn't explain well. But if you come from a
Yes.
place, you are like a teacher, okay, I'm going to explain you with a simple words. Okay, what is my value proposition? How are you going to get to return on investment? Because at the end of the day, we are living in a world that's
Yes.
economic. We're going to live in economic depression, no matter what.
Yeah.
The system is about to collapse. That's simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just being pragmatic at this point. So, of course, now the trend, people are going to
Yes.
calculate a lot. Okay, I'm putting
Yes.
this number of money. How much you're gonna bring me back if I don't have a return on investment? So I think
That's right.
majority of the companies right now pay more attention on that. That's all about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Julian, have you seen in 2020 a real rise in businesses flocking to LinkedIn? So, businesses who haven't previously used LinkedIn starting to go, oh wow, we need to be online and jumping on LinkedIn. Have you seen a rise like that in 2020? Did you rather see?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like the traction, even the number of our clients increased like crazy. I think there was
Yes.
a panic movement about, oh God, we are all in quarantine. Like I couldn't meet people offline. Then naturally, the perceived value generally of our services inside the agency
Yes.
increased because of course it's like McDonald's. We have a clear process. It brings return on investment, and I think the way is that okay, you know, here is the thing you have to understand. Marketer don't
Yes.
have say like a good image in general, and it's true because there is all this keyword. It's a lot of smoke and mirror. Let's be
Yes.
honest. But
Yes.
our positioning from day one, anyway. When I begin LinkedIn 6 years
Yeah.
ago, I was $70,000 in debt. I don't come from a rich family. My
Yes.
success, I made it on my own. All the processes that I created is
Yes.
because I have experienced it. And again, that's the thing. And you couldn't replace that. A company that would take so much time to really understand what's going on. So of
Yes.
course, the traction about this really increase, and they begin to ask questions like how we can really generate leads. Can I really cross like contract like that? And I think now it's part of the reality. It's part of the reality.
Yes.
People accept that you can literally close a multi-million dollars contract through a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and
Which
again,
is kind of
yeah, sorry.
that's exciting though, isn't it, Julian? Don't you think that whole online environment is particularly exciting in that it joins the disconnected portions of the world together. So there should be no excuse why someone in Australia cannot link with businesses in Europe and America and Asia. There is no excuse now to not be online and using digital processes to create the business that you want for yourself. Yeah?
Correct. There is no excuses for that. And again, I like to work that way. What we are living right now, it's literally a digital renaissance. It's a
Yes.
renaissance. It's an acceleration. And again, unfortunately, I just take a step back because, well, yeah, we are already January 2021. We
Yes.
are the first affected by COVID-19 here in China. And it's simple. What's
Yes.
done? Because, everyone's think, China is communist. It's not true. It's the most capitalist country in the world. I'm swearing, like, really. And what happened is, like, the company, unfortunately, that didn't have any massive digital transition before COVID-19 happened,
Yes.
unfortunately, they died. I
Yes.
mean, there was no compromise. I mean, seriously. So in the West, it's less visible because it explains that way because, of course, government, they support the company and everyone. But
Yeah.
fortunately, the people that, if you don't have an audience in 2021, you don't have a business.
Yeah.
That's just simple as it is. And the company that, again, takes this massive digital transition,
Yes.
it's going to be the winner. Because in crisis, there is always great opportunities and you can have a massive growth,
Yes.
or it's do or die. It's simple. I mean, like seriously. So that's why I mean, like, yeah, my speech could look like very direct, but again, I just think it's still insane that people think like things gonna get back to normal because it will never happen.
Yes.
Let me illustrate this by a simple example. So when there was a terrorist attack in New York with the Twin
In
Towers in
yes.
2001, September 2001. Um, well, I was really young actually. I was only how old I was? Yeah,
A
10 years old.
baby.
That's yeah, a baby. But what I remember is when I took the plane, there wasn't like all this massive check-in. It was like taking a bus, like seriously.
Yes, correct.
Still 20 years later, the process of massive security check in
Yes.
the airport didn't change. And all these massive changes, or even about biometric passports,
Yes.
or even right now facial recognition,
Yes.
is coming from that event. So
Yes.
of course, like the way we're gonna work tomorrow,
Comes
the
from what we've
company,
experienced.
yeah,
Yes.
they're gonna come from these 2, maybe 3 years pandemic, and
Yes.
they're going to adapt on this digital transition, and it's not bad or good. I mean, I think
It
about
just
the
is.
yeah, it is what it is. When I'm thinking about the Chinese family that never really take care or pay attention to their kid, of course, I mean, like even like right now the Chinese company, okay, you want to work remotely, it's up to you. You want to come to the office, that's up to you. They
Yes.
really integrate this, and I think it's for the greater good. Like seriously,
I
right now
agree.
they can take care of their kids. It's totally manageable if again you have the right ecosystem inside your
Yes.
company. And there's the main
Yes.
challenges. So I think like it's not even a choice. You know what? Sony is
Yeah,
like
I
you have
actually
to do
think, Julian, too, that if you're in business and you're not online and don't have a presence on the types of places where businesses hang out, you're
it.
essentially going to be left behind, even if you're a big corporation. So we're talking about big, medium, and small businesses.
Yeah.
You have to have an appropriate online presence to compete in the marketplace, don't
And,
you?
and, yeah, correctly. And again, we do understand the challenges. I mean, it's a matter of it's being like an alphabet. It's like in 5 years, if you are not massively online, unfortunately for a company, it's like you don't know how to read or how to write. There's going to
Yes,
be basic competencies to have or to adapt. So yeah, there is massive transition. How do you
there
work
is.
from home? Not a
Yeah.
lot of people wanted that. But when I begin my company from day one, I was like, okay, how we can create a company culture where actually people can work from anywhere. Where I come from, this
Yes.
digital nomad French entrepreneur that
Yes.
were massively influenced by a lot of influencers that okay opens the way that okay, it is possible to do it.
Yes.
And I've met with a lot of these people, and I was like, wow, that's so fascinating. Where is a point where we have all this technology to actually spend time with people that in the
Yes.
office that you don't necessarily like these people?
Exactly.
You see what I mean? Like,
Yes. I
yeah,
know what you mean.
yeah. And so, and I think it's so amazing. See, right now, if you have people from the Philippines that are working
Yes.
for you, I mean,
Yes.
you contribute to different local economy, and I
Yes.
think why
I
why
just
to
think
block? Why
I just
to block?
think that it's so completely exciting that, as you say, you're in China, I'm in Australia, Payo's in the Philippines. We're all working together to try and help educate businesses about the power of LinkedIn. And we've all done that via the digital technology that's available. I just think it's
Yeah,
completely exciting about what technology might come about in the next 2 to 3 years, whilst we're still under the pandemic threat. And I think you're right, Julian. I think it is a 2 or 3 year scenario, and I do think that the world will be depressed, in recession for a number of years. However, that doesn't mean that we can't still drive business and keep growing. And those of us that are already online are starting to reap some of those benefits of having pivoted and put all of our stuff online, like you and I have. So,
Yeah.
Julian, um, I know that you're a process driven person, as am I. So, my process driven started from my nursing background, where I became an operating theatre nurse. And of course, everything is about process from the beginning of an operation to the end of an operation. But in terms of general uh, processes around online lead generation, and in particular LinkedIn, what are some of your tips around these processes, Julian?
Again, it's about measuring.
Yes,
We don't, again, like we don't do marketing for fun. At the end of the day, it's because you want to earn money. And
yes,
just to lean on what you have said previously, money
yes,
is an energy. It doesn't disappear. Even if the environment change, there is always money. The money doesn't disappear
yes,
even if there is a crisis. It's
yes,
on the way you think, okay, what's going to be the process to actually reach out the fastest to
yes,
that money and to provide a value? Because of course, if you don't provide value, then
yes,
building a reputation that takes a lot of time, but to destroy a reputation that takes 2 seconds. That's just the way it
absolutely.
works.
Yeah,
And again, the process is very simple. It's like you need to think about, okay, what is your task? How long this task takes?
yes,
Because again, the only value in this reality, it's the time. The time, it's a value you cannot buy.
yes,
I mean, like, okay, even okay, if you are Bill Gates, at the end of the day, we're all gonna die, and that's it.
yes,
Like, there is no way to extend your time. So,
mm,
how you minimize the time in order? So that's why, for us inside our company, that's the way it works, or even the way we manage our client account. Okay, how many times, how many minutes you spend on that task, and what is really the benefits?
yes,
How many registrants into a webinar you bring? Let's say, okay, 30. Okay, great. What is the attendance rate? 15. Okay,
yes,
at the end of the webinar, how many people book? And how many people from this call actually bring money for the client or for our agency? Because we use
yes,
actually the process for that. So it's again the process. It's you need to measure all the tasks. I did this. How you do it, and
yep,
why you do it. What is your expected result? So again, an advice. It's very simple. So let's think, okay, you're gonna set up for your company a process. It's actually something we are trying right now because, okay,
yes,
we want to diversify the income. We
yes,
go like, okay, we're gonna set up different accounts on Upwork, and we are going to create a process with a certain sequence of messages. Okay,
yes,
so we're gonna send, let's say, 120 proposal a week, but we
yes,
only want people that pay a certain amount of money. So, see, first we delimit a filter. Second, we create a process that can be repeated. So,
yes,
because if there is no repetition, if it's only for one time, meaning like, okay, you're gonna waste your time. And
yes,
third, okay, from that process, the time and investment, let's say we're gonna say 2 hours a day. At the end of the week, how much you bring to the company? One
uh-huh,
thousand dollar, $2,000. Fine. So let's say, okay, week one you bring $2,000. Okay, that's great. Next
yep,
week, are you gonna bring $3,000? Thanks
yes,
to that process, because the growth is, let's say, okay, if each week, thanks to that process, you just bring 2,000 USD, 2,000
yep,
USD, it's not a growth. It's just
yes,
linear.
it's just
You need
yep,
to actually scale the same amount of result week by week. That's why
Yes.
inside our company, it's simple. Monday morning, it begins. Okay, here that's your objective. We don't care really, we don't measure really about the hours,
Yes.
but in the end, like, okay, on Friday, did you reach the number of registrants for your webinar? Did you reach the number of money? Okay, you fail, but you take your Saturday. You didn't succeed on Saturday.
Yes.
Make me an action plan right now. Make me an action plan. Why it failed?
Yeah.
And that's why. And after, okay, to make the process better, it's about, okay, analyze. Okay, we didn't reach the result. Okay, then okay, what are the pain points? Let's debrief. Let's brainstorm to understand. And that's the way actually you make the process better. But again,
Yeah.
it's all about, okay, who do you target, the way you deliver the message, and analyze the results. And if there is pain points, you didn't reach the KPI of the week.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you have to take a step back and to again make your action plan. And why I say week by week, because if you
Yes.
said, I don't know, I want to reach 1 million US dollars in 6 months, that's unachievable. But
Yes, that's right.
if you set up the KPIs, the objective of each team member week by week, there's going to be more easier to track and take a step back. That's why I say to my team, you didn't reach your KPI, that's simple. You should fucking cry. So you reach your KPI, that's great. You're going to be happy and you have your Saturday and Sunday off. That's it.
Yeah.
And everyone
Yeah.
is implicated. You fail, that's the responsibility of everyone in the team. So that's our company culture, and that's the way we drive the process. Because again, the process, as you explained, needs to be driven by a certain company culture. And I do think, again,
Yes.
only week by week and by this, I would say, do or die philosophical culture
Yes. Yes.
that keep everyone accountable, because numbers keep everyone accountable inside the team. And
Yeah.
that's the way it works. And it works
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julian, do you have written processes around that for your team to follow? So, do you have standard operating processes that say, okay, this is the process we follow, these are the scripts we use? Is that how it works for you and your lead generation within Genius Encel rather?
Yeah, so okay, let me back when I was 18
Yeah.
years old. The first experience actually, I was making Big Mac at McDonald's, and I do
Mm,
understood, and I had a lot of, I admire actually Ray Kroc that really bring
yes.
uh, like the measurements. Okay, because people, of course, what is the pain point? They want to be served very fast. So,
Yes.
okay, how long it takes to cook a steak? So I was like, okay. So that was one of the massive, actually, internal digital transitions that we took last year. I
Yes.
was like, yeah, we need to centralize everything, meaning like
Yeah.
the way we operate needs to digitally, or we run an account or the prospection is like you make a Big Mac. Okay,
Yes.
to reach the result that is a Big Mac, or I don't know, the KPI of 30 registrants, okay, we have to calculate everything. So
Yeah.
that's the first step. So we centralize everything in a Discord channel. It's like Slack, if you know
Yes.
Slack.
Yes. Or ClickUp
Yeah,
or Asana. Yeah.
yeah. The problem in the digital ecosystem, it's like we have so many tools that
Yes.
there was a necessity of centralizing everything. So that's the
Yes.
way we did. Like, for example, for each client, we have a dedicated channel with
Yes.
automation. So we use actually Zapier that, okay, one
Yes. Yes.
person, okay, register for a webinar, automatically we know this. Okay, or someone pay that amount of money,
Yes.
automatically it appear on the channel like that. We don't need to reach here and there, because the problem, like,
Yes.
if you have to check the email and this and this and that, even for my email, it's centralized on Discord. I have a dedicated channel for everything. Now
Yes.
the way, indeed, that we proceed. there is things that again can be repeated. So we have indeed on Evernote process for each account
Yes.
a sequence of message that
Yes.
is very simple, copy paste, but the automation has a certain limit. You need to combine automation with manual messages. So
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
way
Yes.
it proceeds. And again, for automation, indeed, we have a bot that hour per hour is going to tell you, okay, we call him Billy the Panda. It's a cute little panda that because again we are in the company culture. It's the main challenge. How you make it more fun? How you
Yes.
bring more gamification? So, for example,
Yes.
like when we have let's say someone that book a call. I don't know if you know the Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio. We have an emoji like that where actually you see Leonardo DiCaprio bringing out money. So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
all about that, bringing automation. And again, that we don't have to, everyone readapts the agenda that on calendar, but it's already integrated with the Discord
With
channel. Like
yes.
that, automatically they know, okay, this is a task that I have to
Yes.
do. The bot
Yep.
remind you, okay, hello, Angel, you have 30 minutes to complete this task. Check the green emoji when it's completed.
Yep.
So that put a certain accountability and pressure. And at the end, all our automation is made by a bot, and everything that can be automated or copy paste task, it's
Yes.
integrated on Evernote. And after, let's say we're gonna have like maybe a Google Sheet report for
Yes. Yes.
like, the objective. But because the bot tell you everything, you have access direct to the direct link to complete everything. And indeed, something that you highlight, it's about the main issue can be one of the key in a company is to fire fast and hire slow. But
Yes.
again, you are not about a bad surprise that someone gonna leave you just like that. So that's
Yes.
why, again, the way we set up the process in 24 hours, if I have a new recruitment, that person is going to be operational. Because all
Yeah.
my processes are
Ah.
actually recorded and centralized
Yes.
per person. I don't know, like let's say a copywriter needs to do
Yes.
SEO.
Yes.
Everything is done. Okay, here is your 12 hours training,
Of yes.
and after, if one person leave, by the next one gonna be integrated on the Google Calendar and going to receive the same messages with all the video process that explain, okay, you don't
Yes.
know? Okay, that's good, John. You're gonna recheck again the video process on how to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the smart way. Because again, like if you begin to explain one by one to each one recruit, you never stop. I mean,
Yes.
that's too much time.
Yes.
That would be my advice for the business owners that listen to the show right now. Begin to make a list of all the tasks and
Yes.
begin to create a library per job
Yes.
description. I don't know, like business developer or copywriter or graphic designer on each one, because necessarily you have tasks that repeat and centralize them into a
Yes.
library. That's a
Yeah.
smart way, because if someone like that tell you, yeah, sorry, I'm going to leave the company,
Yeah.
what do you
You're
do?
yeah.
three
Yeah.
three weeks, 1 month of transition? No, it's insane. In today's
Julian,
world, you need to
did
have
you
people. Sorry.
did you start doing that process right at the beginning? So you're like 5, 6 years into your business process. Did you immediately start doing those things, or have you done them over time? And how long did that sort of take you to do those things, or is it something you do like every week?
I actually understood, because here is the thing.
Yeah.
What is challenging? Okay, they could look very arrogant, but
Yes.
I think I'm smarter than 99% of people. And for
Yes.
me, everything is natural. And yeah, that was a challenge. So
Yes.
when I begin to have people under my management, so
Yes.
can you
Because
imagine? I was 23 years
Purely,
old, so I begin too young because I had
yes,
a frustration. But then
yes,
I become from a place of understanding, and I do
yes,
understand that people actually, I need to simplify my message, and I
yes,
need to create an environment that actually even the dumbest people on the world
yes,
gonna be
yes,
able to do it.
to
And
understand to
again,
do.
we come
Yes,
back to the basics. There's a
yes,
McDonald's process. If you one day, seriously, I think my experience, it was only 2 months, but at McDonald's is where I actually learned the most.
yes,
That's
yeah,
very kind of a paradox because I work for the French embassy. And I mean, come on, even in the past, I had prestigious position, but I
yeah,
mean, seriously, McDonald's taught me a lot. And
the process.
if you see the integration, but directly people are operational in 2 hours.
I was
You
going to
need
say,
you
I
need to create this. You need to
we
create
did
this.
we did
Yeah,
lots of automation for us in 2020, and we're on that process of writing down, okay, this, and this. So
yeah.
yeah, that's I was asking from a relatively
Correct.
new business perspective.
And so to come back to your question, no, it's
Yes.
not something that appear like that. I'm someone that is first very teachable.
Mm,
Uh, I'm aware, okay, of my what can be my weaknesses, but right now, of course, with the time after 6 years of entrepreneurship, you begin to understand better the people, and
yes.
I try to set up for them because I'm the process guy, literally, to
Yes.
make their work comfortable. Because
Yes.
here is the things: when you create such an environment, then they don't have any excuses to not reach the results.
Yeah.
And that
Definitely.
creates also less frustration for the management team
Yeah.
on people level and for the employees themselves. That's it.
Yes.
But I would say, no, again, it's gradually. It took time,
Yes.
time by
It
time.
does
You
take
know,
it does take time, doesn't it? There's a certain I don't know. I guess there's a naivety when you start business that everything's going to like fall in, but it does take time, doesn't it, Julian? It takes time to work out what works within your business. It takes time to work out just what your niche and your products will be and how they'll fit within your business. And it does allow yourself the time and the patience to get that right because it's important, isn't it?
yeah, uh, correct. I mean, people that think you can build a successful business just like that, they are totally wrong. I knew when